Hello, Professor here again, and we are back for episode 62 of the Railcraft server Let's Play. And we are finally back on the server. I'm at spawn, and I'm standing on my little well that leads down into the bunker that houses the computer that runs the, or normally runs the scoreboard thing and the messaging system, but it's been offline for quite a while. So we're going to jump down in here. We also have the spawn control. I do not remember what this does. All right, this was for clearing out why can't I destroy this? Huh. Okay. I guess that is so you don't accidentally destroy the board when you're in creative mode. So you have to hold shift or crouch to do it. So we're going to expand this bunker a little bit. And we're going to construct or set up the computer that is going to manage the or send data to the website in here. And then we're going to install the program on it, and we're going to set up the sensor array. So we'll put the computer here, I guess. So we'll spawn a creative computer here. We'll boot it up, and then we'll install OpenOS on it so that we can put the program on the hard drive. Fortunately, the program is small enough that we should be able to paste it in, so you don't have to mess around with the with getting it from the repository. I haven't committed any of the stuff I've done recently yet, so it's not on the repo, but it will be by the time. Oh, there's a tunnel here. Did it go straight through? No. Huh. Anyway, that doesn't matter. That'll do. I mean, I guess I should be thorough and fill in all the way around. So we'll do that. And then that might not actually be enough space, but we'll get cable, the IO block, and then we'll search for sensor. And I don't know which of these. I know that obviously this is not going to be enough space. Obviously the light sensor will require a clear view of the sky. The season sensors do not, I don't believe. They work regardless of where they are. The weather sensor, I don't know. I would expect that to also work regardless, but I wouldn't be surprised if it actually also requires line of sight. Maybe I should do this after I have placed all these sensors. I'm going to do this. I'm going to space them out so that they don't interfere. So We're going to have each of the season sensors there. And then we'll have weather and finally light at the end there. So pretty much needed this space. We'll do that. So I'll fill this in again. And then we're going to clear this out. So it's going to be dark over here, so the lighting sensor at the end is not going to be affected by any other light other than what comes from above. And then I'm going to have some sort of glass up top, of course, so that it sees the sky. And if necessary, I'm going to do that for the weather sensor as well. But I'm, of course, hoping that I don't have to do that. Let's fill in the ceiling kind of sloppily. And fill in the walls. And then this wall. There. Alright, so that's done. Now I need a light sensor. I'm going to throw that on there. I'm kind of assuming that these things send a signal downwards. I don't know why they wouldn't, but let's try that just in case. Does this only detect sunlight? I guess it only detects sunlight. So let's do that, because we're going to need to do this anyway. Oh, hello. Well, you are annoying. What? Oh. Right. Delete that too. There we go. Let's set this up as quickly as possible. So it's kind of like a thing here. And then just some glass. Doesn't really matter what glass. And you will die. Okay, so well, it's night, so you know. Yeah, okay. So it does send redstone downwards, so that's good. That means I can keep all of them on top of the things, and just set the common side to up for all of them. Let's do this properly, I guess. It's raining now too, so the and yes, I have a jetpack on, even though I'm in creative mode, so I can fly anyway, but it still activates when I hold space. Probably doesn't actually use any power though, which is nice, because it means I don't lose power or waste power doing this, because it's my usual survival jetpack, of course, which I would have to charge later if it did use power. But I don't think it does, so that's very good. Okay. It's not the prettiest thing, of course, but oh well. I shouldn't need that anymore. Let's get each of the season sensors. So we have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And if we do this, it's currently autumn, apparently. Late autumn, by the looks of it. So, you know, that's nice. We're going to need to install OpenOS here. And then we are also going to copy the program. And I'm going to create a new file and then paste it in. I also need the analyzer. So we need to copy a bunch of addresses of these components and enter them into the program. Okay, so let's edit WU for weather updater. I'm going to insert the entire program, and then we're going to go back up to the top and then clear these addresses, which I suppose I could have done before I pasted or before I copied the program, but you know, whoops and such. There. Okay. Then we want to change this to up. Then I'm also going to need to provide the key. But first, let's do this. So let's copy that. And that is spring. We'll insert that there. And then get summer. Yes, indeed. And then autumn. Finally, winter. Finally for the seasons, that is. And then we are getting weather, which I guess we should test first. I think the storm may have stopped. Yeah. It's a little unfortunate, but I'm guessing it works. If not, I guess we'll find out. Alright, let's copy that. And insert there, and then actually finally the light sensor, insert that there, and that should be fine. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my API key file. I'm going to copy that and close it, then switch you over to the other monitor, and then edit API come on, API key.txt, and then insert the key, and then we can switch you back. So now we have the program and the API key file in there. Let's try running the program and see if... All right, it needs an internet card, of course, to use the internet. Makes sense. There it is. Plop that in there. And now we'll try that. Looks like it's working. So now the site is being updated from the actual server, and not, you know, a test world. So we can, if we switch back to the site, we can see that we got some of that erroneous JSON again, which I'm not sure where that came from still. But we can see that it is it early winter? It occurs to me that you can't tell which way the season dial spins. So I should perhaps put an arrow or something. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to, I don't want to change the time, but I can turn on the rain. Or as it is winter, in this case, it would be snow. And that seems to work, so the season or the weather sensor does not need to see the sky. And I just toggle downfall again. So that works fine. We should see the sun coming up soonish. And now what to do about the well, I know it spins clockwise, the same as the sundial. So I guess that's fine. Still, though, the yeah, I don't know. It is a conundrum. I also wouldn't mind adding some ticks to it, which I may have mentioned at some point, but I didn't get around to looking at that. I may work on the... we're probably not going to see this in the Let's Play anymore. after this episode, but I'll probably continue fiddling with it when I feel like it. Otherwise, and make adjustments and improvements as needed. It may come back if we add more stuff to it, as in more modules, but I'm not going to make more videos on just visual or layout changes. That's not going to be interesting enough, I don't think. I would like to have a look at the JSON issue though, because we've had 4 of those so far, and it's kind of weird. Does JavaScript have try catch? It does. Well, the only, I mean, I guess what I want to do is this, and then do a try catch around this. And I think in JavaScript you don't do that. And then we'll console error JSON parse error for, and then we are going to print the string, so payload, so that we can see what happened. And we keep getting those, so we should get one before long. I just need to wait around for a little bit. Now, as for the tick marks, I guess what I could do is generate, just like I did with the bar, I could generate a bunch of these ticks, and then I can have them under the core of the dial, and then have them offset so that they are still centered on the core, but they are offset upwards, and then rotate them so that they are spaced. I guess I should do it instead of just talking about it. So if we go up into the season dial, which is here, and then in the core, and we want to do it above the quadrant so that we obviously render them above the background. So basically we want to echo divs will do, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. And let's see if we got anything. No errors yet. So it's going to be empty, but we're going to have an inline style, and we're going to say the position is going to be absolute, and then we're going to have a width of 1 pixel, a height of, say, 10, although we'll probably vary that later so we get some ticks that are short and then a few that are long, and space them out. And then we're going to have a border left 1 pixel solid white, I guess. Let's generate like 2 of these. to begin with. Still no errors. That's a little annoying. I'm not getting the errors that I want. Okay, so we open up the core, and then we have our ticks, which, that's interesting. There's a gap there. Are those the, those may be actually be the ticks, I guess. Yeah, probably. Well, something is moving. I think making them white was a bad idea. Let's go red instead. Should be more visible. Maybe. Yeah, there it is. Although it's difficult to see. We have a tick right there. Might want to make this 2 pixels. Maybe black would work better. That's not where I wanted to type that at all. Yeah, I think black works better. And then probably put the thickness back. And then I guess I want 20 pixels high. Actually, probably more like 15 pixels. Yeah, let's go with that. Then we are going to actually copy these to the next one. And then we can clear these. And we're going to have a transform rotate, and then we're going to say 30 degrees. Okay, so that doesn't work. Because it actually rotates it on its own axis. What happens if I do this instead? Is that 150 pixels? Okay, margin. That apparently does nothing to the offset. What if I make this relative? No. No, that's not going to work. Okay, this is tricky. This is rather tricky. An immediate solution, it's not even receiving anything. Interesting. Huh. Why would it... Whoops, right-clicked. Why would that happen? The get data. This would only return nothing if the file is empty. So there has to be an error in the update endpoint of the API that simply doesn't write correct. It doesn't write correctly to the file, so it just writes an empty file or something. I'm not Sure. Anyway, back to the... I mean, I guess we have run out of time, so I'll probably continue this off camera. You get the idea of what I want to achieve. I think one workaround I could do is have two nested elements. So I have the tick itself, and then I have that nested in a div, which is nested in the core, and then I can have that div offset and rotated, and then somehow, probably by having it high. I can actually let's try that. So we'll have another div inside of here, and we'll have a style, and then we're going to move this to the end, and then here we're going to have position absolute, and that's actually going to be 0, but then I'm going to have the height be the distance there. So is that 100? Yeah, 150 pixels makes sense because that happens to be the radius of the dial. I realized. Let's reload that. All right. Let's have this 2 pixels solid black instead, and then the height should be 15 pixels, and well, that didn't quite work, did it? That does not look like it's 150 pixels. Like, at all. Well, I'm actually going to continue working on this, and oh, that actually worked. So it sort of worked, except that is offset a bit for some reason. Maybe it's because of the height. No, the height actually helps. Okay, so that's... Does that need to be negative 150 for it to be correct? No, it's actually wrong. Huh. Very strange. Anyway, like I said, going to end the episode here. Next episode, we should be back to normal new base stuff. So, with that, I will see you then.